The DreamWorks Water Park at the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey, finally opened to the public on October 1st, 2020. Themed to the popular DreamWorks IPs such as Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, and How to Train Your Dragon, this is the largest indoor water park in North America. And this is without a doubt one of the best water parks in the entire world. This review will detail what makes this water park so great and cover if it's worth visiting. This will be a general review, applicable to not just 2020, but the future years as well. If you're interested in the special precautions being taken due to COVID-19, I recommend checking out the separate video that I made. Let's start with this park's appearance. The DreamWorks Water Park entrance is on the second floor adjacent to the Nickelodeon Universe theme park. Myself and many others have taken issue with the warehouse-like appearance of Nickelodeon Universe. Thankfully, the DreamWorks Water Park looks significantly better. The giant skylight above the wave pool and glass windows along the back wall let in plenty of natural light, so the park has a brighter and more colorful appearance. The two ends by the slide towers get a bit dark due to the lack of windows, but it's very much forgivable when you see the mesmerizing slide towers. You just see a mess of water slides twisting around each other. It's really overwhelming and impressive so many of these slides share the same towers. The last side of the water park has a series of balconies. It sort of reminded me of the interior of the Contemporary Hotel at Disney World. And these are actually the Skybox cabanas, and this was a neat way to integrate them into the park. The look is very modern, and the cabanas should give a really neat bird's eye view of the park. The park also has a ton of kinetic energy thanks to the colossal wave pool being located in the center of the park, and the Toothless Trickling Torpedo water coaster that travels around the entire perimeter of the park. The screams of pleasure from guests is infectious, and it really adds to the overall atmosphere. In terms of theming, the park doesn't go all out like a Disney theme park, but it has enough to tell they tried. The giant Madagascar slide tower is themed to a massive treehouse with a plane crashed into the top. The Shrek slide tower has fake trees in front of it, and one of the water slides exits out of a beautiful looking dragon's mouth. And then there are assorted characters hung throughout the park from your favorite DreamWorks films. The only area of the park that looks a bit underwhelming, and I hesitate to even call it part of the park, is the hallway between the mall entrance and changing rooms. It was dark and soulless, although the reveal of the main park made this a distant memory. The park looks great, and it's no surprise the mall has glass windows showcasing their water park to attract potential customers. However, unlike the theme park, which people will happily enter in street clothes, this water park requires a bit more planning. Sure, you can buy a bathing suit in the mall, but I'm guessing most people wouldn't do that. Although, if you plan to do that, it's worth noting that the American Dream Mall is located in Bergen County, which has blue laws. If you're unfamiliar with blue laws, it means that stores cannot sell retail items on Sundays, and that includes bathing suits. And one of the biggest advantages of an indoor water park is that the park is comfortable year-round. Many indoor water parks have heated water, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. Unfortunately, the water at the DreamWorks Water Park didn't seem to be heated. That being said, the park itself was still very comfortable, since the overall park felt rather warm and humid, so the water felt refreshing, similar to an outdoor park on a warm summer day. Now let's move on to the attractions. This water park has one of the strongest water slide lineups in the world. The park covers all genres of water slides and includes several record breakers. You have the world's tallest drop pod slides in Thrillagascar and Jungle Jammer. You have the world's tallest and longest hydromagnetic water coaster in Toothless Trickling Torpedo, and the world's largest tornado funnel slide in Shrek's Sinkhole Slammer. The park has a circular layout around the giant wave pool, so I'll cover the attractions counterclockwise, starting with the ones by the main entrance. Tucked in the corner is Soakin' Safari, the flow rider that is currently included with admission, but the long-term plan is to make this an upcharge. I'm not a big fan of these boogie boarding simulators, but I know they're a big hit for most. Stair A is home to 3 body slides for strong swimmers only. Penguin's Plummet and Majunga Jump are 2 short slides that shoot riders through the air and into the splashdown pool. The slides themselves aren't very thrilling, but the 5-foot drop into the pool sure is. The other slide in this tower is Mad Flush, a body bowl slide that drops riders into the splashdown pool. I love the versions I've ridden at the Whale's Tail Water Park in New Hampshire and the World Water Park in Edmonton, but this one was painful. The turn into the bowl is quite wild, but the transition into the bowl violently slammed my ankle against the slide. I tried it 3 times to make sure it wasn't just a fluke, but unfortunately, this one just doesn't enter the bowl like the other ones I've ridden for some reason, and it ruined the slide for me. Stair B is home to 4 drop pod slides, including the record-breaking Thrillagascar and Jungle Jammer drop pod slides. These slides stand a whopping 142 feet tall, which is a foot taller than TMNT Shellraiser at Nickelodeon Universe. Both slides extend into a special extension in the roof. That's how tall they are. The climb atop the tower isn't fun. You'll probably be out of breath by the time you get up there. But the ride down is worth it. The orange slide has a countdown, while the purple side does not. But whichever side you choose, you are treated to one of the most intense water slides in the world. I loved these slides. The drop seemingly lasts forever. It starts in complete darkness before emerging from the airplane cockpit, and the view of the park, while brief, is breathtaking. While I never felt myself come off the slide, the drop has some good weightlessness before starting the pullout. Unlike some speed slides, you will not feel the joints between the slide pieces. However, due to the extreme speed, you sort of hydroplane atop the water, and I could see some finding the sensation skimming across the water a bit uncomfortable, so just be warned. One of the shorter slides is the Carnivortex, the green slide, and this one is just as good as the record breakers. This one does have a countdown, and the initial plunge is fantastic. That's followed by an intense flat turn where you really slide up the slide walls while also pulling some good G's for a water slide. The last slide in this tower is the Safari Slider. This one does not have a countdown, and it consists of a double down. The initial plunge, while steep, didn't seem to have the same punch as the one on Carnivortex. And the second drop wasn't steep enough to offer any airtime. The slide was fast and smooth though. Stair C is home to 3 tube slides. However, it's a bit confusing to ride them. Like most slides, you grab the tube at the exit and haul it up yourself. But the splashdown pool is quite a ways from the stairs. The splashdown pool is past Stair A, over by the boogie board surfing ride. So you will need to carry the raft past stairs A and B to reach Stair C. But at least it was more straightforward than another slide I'll get to. Lemur Leap is the tube bowl slide. This one can be found at several water parks, and it's fun as usual to swirl around the giant bowl. Speeding Frenzy is the green slide, and this one doesn't have any drops. Instead, it has several constrictor turns. These super tight turns pull some good G's from their compactness. Tube It is the yellow slide, and this one also doesn't have any drops. Despite this, it builds up some pretty good speed. However, it's over in a flash. Stair D is home to 2 body slides in the Zany Zigzag and the Zanier Zigzag. These slides are decent. They're really smooth. The first half of each slide is enclosed, but the second half is open with some small dips and wild turns following those dips. If the first half was as wild as the second half, these slides would have been much better. Stair E is home to Dragon Racers, but good luck finding it. You need to grab your mat at the slide's exit, which is atop Stair F on the second level. You then need to climb back down to ground level, loop around the runoffs for the drop pod slides, and eventually reach Stair E. Because of how cumbersome it was to ride this slide, I only did it once. This is a fairly standard mat racing slide you'll find at other parks. The one downside was that the park was so empty in the day I visited that I couldn't race anyone, but at least the park does record your time at the bottom. Stair F is home to the park's signature attraction in my opinion, Toothless Trickling Torpedo. The world's tallest and longest hydromagnetic water coaster, this is also my new favorite water coaster. Yes, I like it more than Wildebeest and Mammoth at Splash and Safari. It's that good. I plan to release a separate review for this fantastic water slide as it's really great. The slide is an endless series of steep drops and rapid ascents as you go around the perimeter of the park. Many of these hills give some solid airtime, particularly the final 2 drops if you're in the back of the raft. Stair G is home to the park's funnel slides. Shrek's Sinkhole Slammer is the world's tallest tornado slide, and the funnel is quite the sight. It's really imposing. The drop into the funnel isn't quite as steep as some of the other tornado slides out there, but the sheer length of the drop and the size of the funnel makes this ride stand out. But honestly, I preferred Swamp and Splash, the miniature funnel slide. This slide has a diverse range of forces. The 3 mini funnels are quite wild due to their small size, and the entrance into the second funnel gives a good pop of airtime. Then the transitions between funnels are really tight turns that pull some great G's. That really caught me off guard. Stair H is home to Dragon and Donkey's Flight, the Behemoth Bowl water slide. This one isn't overly fast. In fact, you crawl through the bowl section. But the drop out of the bowl is shockingly abrupt and fast. And like Swamp and Splash, the turns on the slide pull some pretty good G's. And a note for single riders, the slides on stairs F, G, and H require 2 to 4 people. And several of those slides are among the best in the park, so you'll definitely want to ride them. Once COVID subsides, the park will pair single riders with other parties. But for now, the park will not assume liability to pair people up from separate groups. From what I saw, the park will allow separate parties to take the initiative to pair themselves up. Now, what about the kids? For kids under 48 inches tall, there's the Penguins Frozen Fun Zone, a themed complex with 6 miniature slides for the youngest of guests. The other popular option for kids is the Kung Fu Panda Temple of Awesomeness play structure. This tower includes hundreds of ways to get wet, plus several body slides on the tamer side. If you want to relax, your best options are the giant Farfara Bay wave pool or the bubbly lazy river. The latter has several water sprayers along the course, capitalizing on the DreamWorks IP. In general, the operations of the water park were top-notch. Most employees I interacted with were very friendly. In fact, they seemed exceedingly happy to actually see a guest because, again, I visited on an empty day. Some of the body slides had tedious safety spiels, which I could see being a bottleneck on busy days, but again, it was no issue in the day I visited. And then the employees wasted no time sending people down the slides once their safety spiel was complete. Almost none of the water slides experienced any downtime during my visit. The one exception was Toothless Trickling Torpedo. It's the most complex slide in the park, so it's not too surprising if one were to have issues, it would be this one. The ride went down for 1.5 hours midday due to sensor faults, and a test raft kept getting stuck on the course. My recommendation is to hit this water slide first, just in case the downtime wasn't just a fluke for me. Plus, it also seemed to be the crowd favorite water slide in the park, so it would be beneficial to beat the crowds there. Like Nickelodeon Universe, the DreamWorks Water Park has a park alerts page on the website that lists which attractions are closed on a given day. Since this park will operate year-round, I would expect slides to eventually go down for refurbishments in the future, so definitely check before your visit if there's a specific slide or attraction you want to experience. In terms of food, the options were very restricted during my visit after the COVID-19 lockdown, but it looks like the park will offer a swim-up bar, a conventional bar, and a food hall once the pandemic restrictions are lifted. But in general, I think most people will eat in the mall before or after their visit. Now, I held off discussing this until the end, but I do need to address the elephant in the room. This water park is expensive. It's the most expensive water park in the world. The park is currently charging $89 for adults on weekends and holidays, but the price was as high as $99 back in March. And that's not all. Parking may be currently free, but the American Dream Mall plans to charge for parking in the future. Daily rates could be as high as $20 to $30, although the plan was for the water park to validate parking for $10. And then you have the lockers. Unless you want a chance leaving your stuff on a sun chair, and I did see many people do this, you will need to buy a locker. I don't trust leaving my stuff out in the open, especially when it's my car keys, wallet, and phone. For that reason, I did pay for a locker. It cost $12 for a small, $15 for a medium, and $20 for a large. For comparison, Universal's Volcano Bay costs roughly $80 to $85, while Disney World's water parks cost roughly $65 to $73. and Aquatica costs $50 to $65. In general, water parks cost less than theme parks. But the only theme parks more expensive than the DreamWorks Water Park are the American Disney and Universal parks. This water park costs roughly the same as a ticket to Busch Gardens or SeaWorld Orlando. And this water park costs more than the nearby major theme parks like Hershey Park and Six Flags Great Adventure. Heck, it costs more than the adjacent Nickelodeon Universe theme park in the same mall, and that park has already been criticized for being expensive. But it's not too surprising when you consider the location. I mentioned this in my Nickelodeon Universe review, but the New York metro area is expensive. Just look at how much the boardwalk parks charge for wristbands or ride tickets. You could be paying over $10 to ride a spinning wild mouse, or $70 for unlimited wristbands. If you can get past the sticker shock to visit this water park, I would say it's worth it, if you can visit on a day with minimal crowds. I visited on a weekday, and I essentially had the park to myself. I did not have to wait for a single water slide all day. I would estimate there was less than 75 to 100 people total in the entire park, and most of those people were in the wave pool at any given time. I justified the price to myself that I was paying for a VIP experience. I was able to ride 8 to 10 slides per hour. The only limiter was how quickly I could climb up the slide towers. However, the price may not be worth it on a busy day. The park has a maximum capacity of 5,600 people, which is roughly 60 to 70 times as many people there were for my visit. The price is only worth it if you can ride things non-stop. Now, if your only option is to visit on a busy day, the park does intend to offer a skip-the-line option called a Turbo Pass. This would allow you to experience everything, but it probably will be another charge on top of the admission, parking, and locker. Outside of the high price to get in, the DreamWorks Water Park is amazing. The appearance and diverse set of top-notch water slides makes it a top-tier water park for me. In fact, I would say that it's the best water park I have personally visited in North America. It can't beat the Aquaventure Park I went to in Dubai, but again, I will take it over anything I've been to in North America. Now, I have not been to Volcano Bay, Schlitterbahn, or Denver's Waterworld, but I would take this over places like Splash and Safari, Blizzard Beach, Aquatica, Noah's Ark, and the World Water Park. What are your thoughts on the DreamWorks Water Park? Is this a place you want to visit? I would love to hear your thoughts about this new indoor water park down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a like and consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more amusement park and roller coaster videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.